Today, gold is soaring. Costs more than $3,600 presently. Gold has reached a new all-time high and is not showing any signs of letting up. Although some analysts believe gold might go further higher, Goldman Sachs has predicted that it could reach $5,000 per ounce. Now, let's begin. This was Wall Street's worst day since the 1987 meltdown. It's currently 43% lower. There hasn't been a recession of this magnitude in decades. In a gold or silver IRA, you may safeguard your retirement. Go over sdbullion.com to find out more. It means the world to me that you tuned in. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Since we have broken through $3,600 per ounce, today is a really exciting day for gold. 00 to 111. Gold has gained more than 1.5% today, rising around $56. Now let's examine silver. Additionally, silver is heading upwards, from 111 to 304. An ounce costs more than $41 here. Silver barely gained 39 cents, or approximately 1% of its value. Consequently, gold is outpacing silver in price increases. But why are metal prices going up? This rocket ship's gold stockpile exploded around 8:30 this morning due to an event. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics had just issued their jobs figures. It was released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern on Friday, September 5th, as you can see below. Take a look at these figures. The total number of jobs added to non-farm payrolls in August was just 22,000, and this trend has persisted since April. The predicted number was 75,000 jobs, so this is significantly lower than expected, and it is actually damaging the dollar. A precipitous decline in the US dollar index like this raises the obvious question: what does this portend for future interest rate reductions? The good news is that we will almost certainly receive a rate reduction in 12 days on September 17th. Gold and silver prices are expected to soar as CME Group projects a 90% probability of a 25 basis point rate decrease and an almost 10% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. It appears that the metal markets have finally priced in this rate decrease, which is a long-awaited development. The exact magnitude of the rate reduction is unknown at this time. X Today user Gold Silver HQ uploaded this hilarious meme. Jerome Powell is attempting to choose between two potential outcomes, inflation and a recession, but he ends up choosing both. An inflationary recession may be on the horizon, and this is the best case scenario for those who want gold and silver prices to rise. Sections 304 to 615. I'd like to speak about this, but first you should read the story that Fox Business published yesterday. It's no secret that Goldman Sachs has suggested $5,000 in gold as a possible price. In case you missed the headline, this is the current value of a gold bar that you may have purchased from Costco last year. Truthfully, I am astounded. On Thursday, an investment of $2,495 on 1 ounce of gold at Costco a year ago would have yielded $3,557. Oh, it's even higher now, of course. This is equivalent to a gain of almost $1,000, or 42% in just 1 year. That is an incredibly remarkable gain, and it may only be the beginning. Hear yesterday's interview with Mint CEO Josh Fair on the Silver Pros podcast. Coming back to Japan, they are now purchasing gold instead of bonds. Thus, that has been the major driving force, if you will, in the past several trading days. Attention all silver lovers. A US government agency has now suggested adding silver and copper to its essential mineral list. In other words, a new buyer is on the horizon for materials, since the US government may restock its strategic military reserves. Thus, a metals war has broken out on a global scale. The United States military is now engaged in a great deal of action throughout Latin America. Is it truly your belief that drugs are the sole issue? Number. Drugs have always been flowing. Aside from the obvious, which involves the Chinese government and their money, there are other more significant developments involving precious metals, copper, rare earth elements, and silver. Accordingly, the US is physically and metaphorically securing the Western Hemisphere. That being the case, you should try to picture it in that light. With those things in mind, the tide is turning in your favor, everyone. Although it is an asset class, Short-term forecasts are not possible. Today, Goldman Sachs announced that it may be time to switch gears from general stocks to commodities. Then it was claimed that gold might easily reach $5,000 if Trump persists in interfering with the independence of the Fed. At this point in time, that's not really a major change. Now that we've hit debt to gold holding ratios, when do we start thinking about $10,000? The numbers I have indicate that this trend will likely continue. We have some urgent news on the purchase of gold by central banks. Just in El Salvador purchases gold valued at $50 million, from $6.15 to $7.35. Additionally, as Josh pointed out, I would be purchasing gold right this second if I were a central bank and could print money. I understand. How do we calculate that 1 ounce of gold will cost $5,000? To be honest, it's not that complicated. Baseline projections put the metal's price at $4,000 per ounce by mid-2026, while tail risk predicted $4,500 per ounce, and a higher estimate of nearly $5,000 per ounce were both put out by the Bank of Goldman Sachs. Worst of all, 1% of the privately held US Treasury market switched to gold. All that has to take place is that if there was a 1% change to gold, the price would be $5,000 per ounce. Last but not least, they state that this is why gold is still their top commodities recommendation for the long term. Yeah. I believe that gold is an excellent asset to be in if you are seeking to go long on anything. Ultimately, the question isn't how much higher gold or silver can go, but rather how much lower can the dollar fall. Also, I can assure you that it can drop far lower. You have it. The price of gold is rising, while the price of silver is also on the increase. 804 to 736. We are all aware that silver typically follows gold. With gold's huge rise today, the gold-silver ratio actually widened a bit. There will come a time when silver must play catch-up. I'm interested to see how much silver prices rise this year. Please share your thoughts with me in the space provided. Please stay tuned for my next video. Silver Dragons out, and I am incredibly grateful for your time and attention. The transcription was performed by TurboScribe.ai. To get rid of this message, go for unlimited.